Is it getting better?
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame.
In the end, Barack Obama should thank me for making Fall of the Republic. So should that sickening traitor George W. Bush. Because these films, The Obama Deception and Fall of the Republic, document that they're just puppets and frontmen. And though they're guilty of many of the crimes carried out by their bosses, they are only frontmen, foot soldiers, enforcers, capos. And they build them up and then destroy them and then bring in the next puppet. And that's why Fall of the Republic is so important. It details the police state, the banking takeover, the global carbon tax, everything. This is the film for this time. This is my most powerful film. And everyone needs to see it. I'm asking you to order the DVD at Infowars.com today on the online video bookstore shopping cart. I'm asking you to make copies of it. I'm asking you to get a PrisonPlanet.tv membership and download the DivX version and burn it to disk and give it to everyone you know. I'm asking you to take action. I'm asking you to call the toll-free number 888-253-3139 and to not wait and not count on others. The Obama deception has been devastating. They have written scores of mainstream news articles attacking me for the Obama deception and admitting it's hurt them. That's because of you taking action. Sure, I'm the quarterback. I got the ball downfield, but you have been the receivers that are marching down the enemy lines, and we're having victories. Let's redouble our efforts because we're coming from behind here. But we're putting points on the board. We have got to come from behind with a winning spirit and beat these people. And this is the big football game that actually matters for your family and your future. This tyranny is unlike any tyranny we've ever seen. This is not a boss hog tyranny. Those are bad enough. This is a scientifically crafted system that is designed to stop us from defeating them. But if we're aware of their tricks, we can stop them. The Obama deception and Fall of the Republic, both these films need to be gotten out to everybody. Okay. For the rest of this hour, then I'm going to do a news blitz. Then we've got open phones, 1-800-259-9231. I wanted to get Timothy Baldwin on, first time he's been with us. And he attended the University of West Florida, received a bachelor's degree in English, political science. There he went to Cumberland Law School, and we appreciate him coming on. He began his career at the state attorney's office in Florida, and it goes on from there. 2006, Baldwin opened his law office in Pensacola. He's also helped his dad on his campaign for president, and we've had Chuck Baldwin on so many times in the last 12, 13, 14, 13 years I've been interviewing Chuck Baldwin. Thought we'd have him on. Plus, he's got a talent for breaking down history and the facts, just like his father, Chuck Baldwin. So Timothy Baldwin joins us for the next 25 minutes till this hour ends. Then News Blitz, then your phone calls for Skip, Victor, Amber, Cody, Dayton, and others that are patiently holding. We're going to get to you as well today. And I'm going to get into the New York Times, an article, an editorial written by the UN Secretary General calling for world government and saying the key to it all is the carbon tax. We're going to break that down today. And they are announcing there will be taxes on all of your meat-eating pets. Remember, Hitler was a vegetarian. This is the eugenicist religion. This is the religion of the chicken neck control freak. So we're going to go over it all today. Timothy Baldwin, Esquire, good to have you on with us today.
It's my pleasure to be on your show, Alex. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. Well, growing up, seeing your dad fight the New World Order, it's good to see you fighting it today. Tell us a little bit about your take on the state of the world right now and this key point in history when the New World Order is openly emerging, people are waking up, but we're in a limited window to defeat them. Then let's get into your latest article, Freedom's Destruction Through Constitutional Deconstruction.
Well, Alex, as you've highlighted on your show for so many years, the corruption of the federal government, I think it would be, you would have to have your head completely in the sand not to know that there are some serious problems within the system of our government.
You know what? We lost your phone again, and it's the exact same sound with our last guest. It may be our system. We had a huge crash It is our system? We had a huge crash, Timothy, yesterday. Can we go to an analog phone or something else with him immediately? Because this is really we're gonna go to the Genesis Network. We're gonna go back to them doing the phone calls for now till this is fixed. We're gonna go back to Mr. Baldwin. There I was griping at my guest yesterday for bad phones, and I know that sound. That's us. And I go back to the issue of funding. I need to hire an extra IT person desperately. We need 3. These guys were up here this weekend when we had a server crash with the mail server. We had this whole system go haywire Sunday where Burmese couldn't even do a show. I'm not complaining. We have had just constant issues, and we've had consultants in here. They say our IT guys are extremely talented and are doing a fabulous job, but there's just too much for them to do because they're busy fixing broken computers and all sorts of other stuff and dealing with this. But so please continue to support us, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a great cost here. Okay, let's start over, Timothy Baldwin, with the point you were making about having to have your head examined if you think the government isn't out of control. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, I think as our founder said, that the evidences are clear of the usurpations and the abuses of government. I mean, we could sit here and talk for months and months about the corruption that we've seen and what we believe it means and where it's leading. I think that the evidence is very clear that they're trying to unite the nations in a global type economy and structure. Of course, this goes in line with their desire for power and money. It's the nature of mankind to use other people for their advantage, and this is what we're seeing. And what I have tried to do is I have tried to study history and our particularly our history to see what cures there are for this type of abuse and this type of encroachment. And my conclusion is that it's similar to what Alexander Hamilton said. And of course, I'm no fan of Alexander Hamilton, but I believe what he said in the Federalist Papers was very true, and that is to best preserve freedom, you need power to be able to check power. And of course, the context of what he said there was that the state governments were to be used to check the federal government. And that's something we
a separation of powers set against themselves, and that was one of the few issues that the founders unanimously agreed upon. They just debated about how to arrange that structure, and they did a lot off the Greek, and of course the common law in England, and of course off the Dutch system, as you know. But now that's been undermined by the foreign offshore corporations. That's why we need to take over the local governments, and that's why we need to also, as patriots, take over the government and have the long view of history. And that's why we need to financially support alternative media and institutions so that we can grow our power to then be able to face down the establishment. Go ahead.
Well, and this is something that I'm trying to educate people when I talk and when I write about this subject. When you study our history, one thing is very clear. Our founders and the ratifiers of our Constitution rejected the national form of government. And they were very clear that what they wanted was a federal system. That is, the states had co-equal power with regard to all the powers that they retained under the 10th Amendment.
And Ninth.
And, of course, and the 9th Amendment as well. But the problem, what we have here, if we look through the U.S. Supreme Court decisions, we have a complete reversal of that idea and that understanding.
And that starts after the Civil War, does it not?
Well, it started before that because the U.S., particularly under Joseph Story's court, and also, of course, John Marshall, they tried to establish through their decisions that the federal government was a supreme sovereignty over the state sovereignties through the Supremacy Clause. And what they tried to establish was the U.S. Supreme Court has the ultimate final decision on what the Constitution means. And that's just contrary to what our federal system is all about. It is power checking power, state power checking federal power. And as you just mentioned, after the Civil War, they really were able to grab a hold of that idea and force the states to do what they want them to do. And that's been one of the biggest detrimental causes of freedom in our country today.
Absolutely. And from the beginning, the founders stated it was a confederation of states that met to arbitrate their disputes in the federal Congress, but that any time a state wanted to leave or a state wanted to make deals with someone else, they were allowed to do that under the 9th and 10th Amendment. We've seen a total reversal, and then once you have a centralized federal all-powerful government, it can then be taken over by foreign offshore governments or private institutions, and that's now happened.